You may have seen these funky colored flames or some other brand. They color your campfire with fun colors, and they're a little expensive, so I'm going to be making my own. These are the things that I have been seeing used in these flame packets. Sodium chloride, or table salt, polyvinyl chloride, or PVC, copper sulfate, copper chloride, and potassium chloride. These are the chemicals I am going to be using: strontium chloride, lithium chloride, sodium chloride, copper sulfate, copper chloride, and potassium chloride. Strontium salts burn red, lithium will burn a magenta, sodium burns yellow, and I've skipped orange because carbon burns orange, and carbon is what wood's made out of. Copper sulfate will burn a green, and copper chloride will burn a blue, and potassium chloride burns purple. Strontium chloride, lithium chloride, sodium chloride, copper sulfate, copper chloride, and potassium chloride. That's just packaging tape. Most of these chemicals are hygroscopic, so that's why this is like really wet looking. They've pulled moisture from the air, and it's turned something yellowish orange, but I'm not too concerned about it. Nothing here is combustible in and of itself, so the only thing we have to be worried about is fumes, and I'm about to seal it up. There's the finished packet. And there is definitely a reaction going on here. It's full on brown now. It'll still work, for sure. My guess is that the copper sulfate is breaking down in the presence of one of the other chemicals and is forming sulfuric acid. That would be my guess, but I could be way off with that. Next time I start a fire, I'll throw this in there and we'll see what happens. Now it's returned to green. It's been like this for a long time. Now I'm going to see what happens when I rub it together. It seems to be that when it's warm, it turns red, and when I cool it down, it turns green. I have heated it on my body and put it in the freezer, and it's changed colors accordingly. So let's see. Let's just give this a rub. I can feel that it's rather cold in my hands. Hasn't been in the freezer, just cold in our basement here. So. Found an equilibrium at a green color, because it's been flashing between blue and red, and it's settled on this green color. Very interesting. It's gonna work regardless, because all the metals that are there that would be creating the colors are still there, regardless of what chemical reaction is going. You can't destroy an element, turn it into a whole nother element. That just does not work. So yeah, very interesting. Alright, so I have this fire set up to cook some charcoal. And I'm gonna throw the colored packet on it. Why not kill two birds with one stone? Alright, now start a time lapse. Okay, so this wood was really wet, but we finally did get flames. So I'm going to go back to time lapse until the fire is pretty raging, and then I'll put the packet on. Okay, I'm just gonna toss the packet in there. Get it in. Well, it's in a good spot. Now move back into the time lapse and, well, no. Just bring the camera closer. You can already see some colors starting in there. See the green. And then I'll move to the time lapse. See the colors right in there? It's a lot easier to see in person. The greens don't really show up, but you can see the purples and the blues in there. There you can see some green. There's some more colors. They really don't show up on video. I mean, there's not a whole ton of them because it was just a small packet. Man, that's strange. It's really colorful in real life. But you can't really see it in the video. There you can see some greens, blues, purples. This would also be a lot better to do at night. So I just mixed up some more colorants, and I'm just gonna now that's some color. There we go. That's pretty entertaining. If I were to use these at a party or something, I would make a whole bunch of packets with a decent amount of chemicals in them so that they'd last long and I could throw a bunch of them on there. Tell you what, sprinkling it on was pretty immediate. Holy cow. I think I'm gonna do it again. Alright, I've got a decent amount of the stuff mixed up. Let's start on the fire and see what kind of colors we get. Should last a while. Lots of blues, purples, yellows, red too. Yeah, looks pretty good. It would look awesome at night. See that? When it was heated, it turned that red color that we were seeing earlier. It's interesting. Awesome. There we go. There's the finished charcoal. I'll blade mill and then ball mill this. I usually just blade mill it and then ball mill it in with whatever composition I put it in.